Hey guys, Stray Games here again. This is me. What if Kiryu went back in time? No, I've been playing Yakuza 0, and honestly, Real Estate Royale has just been really fun to me. I haven't played Infinite Wealth, but I've seen the cutscenes for it, and I like it. I'm watching the cutscenes as we speak, and I'm about 2.5 hours in, so, yeah. But, in this one, this beginning's gonna include a spoiler for Infinite Wealth, in case you care about gaming spoilers. But, we're gonna keep going. Now, the story begins with Kiryu succumbing to his cancer that he got after being near near radiation and all that. Honestly, I would have assumed it would have came from him smoking so much, to the point where if you go idle in any game, he smokes. Which spans from him being 20 to him being like late 50s. So yeah. But as he succumbs to his cancer, he somehow woke up, but as an infant. Now, Kiryu quickly went through life as normal as he wanted, but he also wanted a new start. Now, Kiryu, when he's about 10 years old, would train pretty hard, as he's relearning the Rush, the Beast, and the Brawler style. And he's relearning all of it. But as he's doing this, Kiryu started to earn money with Nishiki. Nishiki and Yumi train with him, but he also would do odd jobs. When when Cosmic came around, he actually would ask him, like, hey, can we do any errands for money? He would even ask it to Kashiwagi or any stray, just Yakuza they have around them. Whenever Kiryu would be just bringing in, like, serious money for his age. But he's only doing it if they're not, like, evil shit, so, yeah. Now, they all had mutual funds, they all did individual different things, and Kiryu made up a lie saying, it's just so that he wants to live with them forever, so it's going to go towards like a house to fit all of them. And Yumi and Nishiki believe that. As they got older, they realized that Kiryu wanted his own dreams, and he was going to use his part of the money that they grew to invest in that. But they realized this when like 15, but we go on to when Kiryu was about 17. When he was 17, he actually would leave the orphanage on his own, and he would go to Kamurocho. And Nishiki didn't go with him. In fact, when it came to crying about being Yakuza, that was all Nishiki. Kiryu left before that happened. And Kiryu still wanted a dragon tattoo, but he knew he had to do something to earn it, because he wasn't Yakuza. He didn't want to be. So what he did instead is be in racing hell all over Kamurocho, but in a way that would get the attention of Shibusawa. So Shibusawa would then eventually confront Kiryu. Now, when it came to making the ship, I had to color code all of it because there's going to be so much dialogue when it comes to different characters. So it's all color coded in different ways. I don't know why I'm saying this, but still. So Shibusawa would look to find Kiryu, who had just knocked out a ton of Yakuza. Now, Shibusawa looked at Kiryu and says, you're the rat causing me so much trouble, I guess. Kiryu would just laugh and say, yeah, I wanted to ask permission to get the dragon tattoo. But I want to make a bet on it knowing you wouldn't agree. Or if you would, I'd have to pay. A lot of money, especially. Pause. Okay. So, Kiryu basically mentions, like you'd make me pay a lot of money to get the tattoo. Well, but, actually, I don't think you would. Kiryu mentions that Shibusawa was a man of honor, but he's also corrupt. Money wouldn't be his thing. And tells Shibusawa the way Kiryu could earn it is through his fists. And Kiryu, instead of going into a rush style, or at least kind of resembling it, he goes into an immediate boxer stance. Or boxing stance. So I would just sigh and didn't even bother doing the signature, like, shirt ripoff. But Kiryu would decide to keep the tradition going, doing it, but while not even having any ink on his back, just being a bare back. But what we noticed instead is Kiryu being very toned. Shibusawa even takes note of this, actually taking off his jacket, being like ready for a fight, because he can tell Kiryu would hit hard. He's weirdly strong. So yeah. Now Kiryu started off with rush style, but this would be a little bit different, resembling actual boxing. So Kiryu's rush style resembles it resembles such things such as, like, I would say, pretty sure it's supposed to be Japanese kickboxing. Because it's a resemble of Muay Thai, different styles of boxing, so on and so forth. But instead, I'm going to say that probably it's going to resemble more or less like all styles of boxing, Muay Thai. Then Kiryu makes his own styles, combining it with Japanese kickboxing. But then he would try to turn it a bit dirty. So it's a bit tricky and unpredictable because so many styles blended into one, because Kiryu's using prior knowledge along with newly attained knowledge, which he doesn't really take too long to learn because he knows a lot of styles already. He uses increments of them, and it's easier to learn. So this helps Kiryu actually fight a lot more effective and efficiently. Point where he doesn't really miss a punch, and if it's blocked, it sends Shibusawa flying back. Or Shibusawa can't really dodge it because it never misses. It's virtually impossible to miss. But eventually the fight would end with a double knockout, but Kiryu made this intentional. Only reason he didn't go all out, not go all out, but only reason he didn't win the fight is just because he knows Shibusawa has better durability, but Kiryu has better endurance. So it would basically just be going on for way too long to the point where people would actually notice these two fighting, or people come find them. So to save face, Kiryu would have it end early with a double knockout, or a fake knockout. He would allow Shibusawa to get up first. Kiryu got up around 2 minutes later. Shibusawa was trying to get back onto his feet properly. But Shibusawa would reach an agreement on Kiryu's end. Hold up. So yeah. Kiryu can get his tattoo, and nobody finds out that a no-name 17-year-old had a double knockout with Shibusawa, a high up in the Dojima family. Because it would just look bad in the Dojima, therefore it looked bad on Tojo. The no-name 17-year-old knocked out a higher up. So with this, Shibusawa tells Kiryu, I'll give you some money, and you can get the tattoo. Just please speak of this to no one. So Kiryu would do just that. Speak of it to no one, and you have to get the tattoo. And now, this is where we see his gray blazer and his red dress shirt. But then again, Kiryu had a quote-unquote double knockout while he was holding back and only using rush style. So yeah. Oh, okay, sorry. Now, Kiryu got his tattoo, but he had taken the route of a certain someone to earn a bit more money. Kiryu remembered his youth, so long ago to him. Well, to everyone else, he's living in it. But he remembered two guys, Egashira and Sato. He decided to take a note out of their book, but only on Yakuza, where he would find them in bars while they were drunk or just doing karaoke, and he beat the living shit out of them, taking their money. Shibusawa, well, Kiryu mainly targeted his men, because anytime Shibusawa came up for another fight, he would just give Kiryu money and walk away, because he knew if he would fight Kiryu as Kiryu kept growing, he would lose. Because even then, after a bit of reflecting on him and Kiryu's fight, Kiryu was obviously holding back. He knew more than he was letting on, and Shibusawa, knowing that Kiryu's growing stronger by day, would refuse to lose. Meaning, no matter how much he grew, he would still lose to Kiryu, so it was pointless to even fight him at all. All he would do is pay Kiryu to leave his men alone for a few months. Or not a few months, a few weeks, still. But Kiryu would eventually get his money, and he would jumpstart his real estate business. Despite his age, he's pretty easily able to fake it, so, yeah. Because he acts older than he is, plus he looks older than he is. His resting bitch face came in handy for that. I have the same thing going on, it's not fun. But Kiryu would buy the Sugita building from Yamanoi, and he begins pushing more funds into Kamurocho, but from the shadows, having Yamanoi act as the face. He was able to find Majima and Saejima as well, but this is a different point. About a few months after buying the Sugita building. At this point, Kiryu's already a millionaire, so yeah. Okay, so Kiryu had found Majima and Saejima just because in his last moments he had gotten to know everyone he wanted. He knew their stories, he knew everything he needed because he's just a friendly guy, and that's how he got to know people just talking. So he was aware of Majima and Saejima's stories from both their points of views. So with that, he was pretty easily able to more or less, he was able to basically bribe multiple Yakuza and get Saejima's sister away from that life to get to them. So after bribing Yakuza and saving Saejima's sister without anyone knowing except for the Yakuza he had bribed and Yasuko, well, by the way, Yasuko is hidden as like a caretaker at Sunflower Orphanage. Kiryu would get proof of Majima and Saejima going to be set up because he had just bribed Shibata. Shibata had basically gotten the money from Kiryu, and after Kiryu had used the money, this is weird. Kiryu had bribed Shibata because Kiryu knew who had done it. And with this, Kiryu's able to get Shibata to hand him the guns and shit, and he'd also been able to get proof by secretly recording. So with this, Kiryu was able to more or less pay off Shibata to even have the hit be done earlier by different guys. Okay, sorry. Kiryu would be able to record this secretly. Then when he goes to confront Majima and Seijima, they let him in, only for him to just burst in himself regardless, and just begin to talk to the two. Now they do want to fight him until he throws down the guns, which they think is weird, because they have their guns. Kiryu mentions these are the real ones, they got the fake ones. Which means they think that I almost said Kizaru. They think that Kiryu is an ally, until he shows how he just records it, the entire thing. And it's more or less just him trying to buy the guns off Shibata, and let him give the fake ones to Majima and Seijima. And he goes over the entire plan just because Kiryu paid him money, so he's going to open his mouth. Which can be interpreted in multiple ways, I'm sorry. But after this recording is over, they look very confused at Kiryu, because he seems just so young. But Kiryu then goes over this. So, well, first Majima speaks, saying, how did Brett like you buy off Shibata? That asshole even runs cheap prices for asking small favors, such as getting me a soda from across the room. Which just made Kiryu laugh. Kiryu then smiled, saying, the reason I was able to pay him off and have so much money is related to why I need you two. I need you two to help me get so much money. He says, my name is Kazuma Kiryu. I'm 17 years old, but with some legal loopholes in shaking down Yakuza. Dojo especially. And a bit of financial assistance as well. I was able to buy Kamurocho, and I need your help in managing it. You two are strong as hell. And I need a bit of muscle to keep my hold on Kamurocho. And I'm thinking of expanding into Sotenburi as well. You two could also help. Majima and Seijima share a nod, but the larger one spoke first. Seijima would stand up and say, I like your guts, so we won't get a gang up on you. But, first, I missed that entire order up. He actually wants to fight Kiryu to prove that Kiryu's actually strong and not just some brat with money. He says, I like your guts, so we won't get gang up on you. We'll go individually. After one fight, you get a 10-minute break. Which is honestly being generous. Kiryu would need 30 seconds and he could beat their ass again. Gang up on him still would not help. Kiryu is unnaturally strong right now. So yeah. Now, first fight is Kiryu versus Seijima. Now Kiryu would know that he needs to mix up styles because Seijima's a brute, but with a bit of speed. So Kiryu decides to go between Rush and Brawler style. The fight started with Kiryu and Brawler style. He was able to keep pace with Seijima, and Seijima began trying to hit harder, with Kiryu being able to block it or just dodge it, but Seijima still being able to keep up a little bit. Kiryu instead switched to Rush style, and was able to land a soccer kick, but he had jumped up when he done it, landing a kick straight to Seijima's chin. Seijima was staggered, but then Kiryu switched to Beast style, and would use stray plastic cartons and slamming them into Seijima's head over and over and over again. Now, Seijima would fall to his knees, trying to get back up, but Kiryu would then just run and drop kick Seijima through a brick wall. And the building's abandoned. Kiryu knew that. So, yeah. But he'd kick Seijima through it, and Seijima was just knocked out. And Majima would laugh, saying, oh, damn Kiryu-chan, you completely destroyed that meathead. As he began taunting Seijima, and would even pull out his signature blade, began poking it in Seijima's side a little bit, saying, come on, get up before I actually stab you. Seijima was actually out cold. We even send Majima again. And Majima knew Kiryu didn't even need 10 minutes. He was still in tip-top shape, not even a bead of sweat rolled down his face. That fight took less than 5 minutes. Most of the time, Kiryu was slamming cartons into Seijima's head. But eventually, Majima just took most of the time to stretch and warm up. But eventually, the fight would begin, and Kiryu started immediately into Dragon style. And he'd fight Majima. First attack that Kiryu does is a push kick, as Majima would stab him, so Kiryu would just push kick his hand back, making him actually drop the knife. Now, we're going to go over a little bit of detail. Now, Kiryu goes back and forth between Sunflower Orphanage and Kamurocho. And during this time, Kiryu had more or less just kind of talking to Nishiki, who had been training himself, because Kiryu trained with him earlier. Hold up, pause. Okay, sorry about that. Kiryu had been talking to Nishiki in his time going away from Sunflower Orphanage and back to Kamurocho. Nishiki had gotten Kiryu into bodybuilding. As Nishiki talked about overseas bodybuilders such as Arnold or just anyone notable really. And Kiryu didn't really gain muscle mass, or outwardly at least, but he had still gotten a bit of strength, the point where his physical body resembled his peak. And he's still 17 years old, and he's already at his strongest, at least from his past life. So Kiryu was actually able to pretty easily hand Majima his ass. At this point, Majima is like 21, so Majima is nowhere near his peak yet. So yeah. So after Kiryu had used the push kick to Majima's knife to the ground, Kiryu had basically kicked the knife up in the air when Majima reached down to grab it. He was basically kicking the knife around and Majima kept trying to grab it. But then eventually he went to actually grab Kiryu's hand, just because he knew Kiryu was trying to grab it. Or trying to grab the knife now. But when he did go to grab it, Kiryu would just smirk and immediately just punch Majima in the ribs. Majima staggered back, only for Kiryu to grab him by the neck and just throw him right to Saejima, who was getting back up, as he was unconscious most of the time. Now, once Majima hit the ground, he was just coughing, only for Kiryu to run in a rush style, and then just use another dropkick onto Majima's face. But he had bounced off of it, back onto his hands, and followed up to a knee to the face as hard as he possibly could, knocking him out. So Majima is not done for. So yeah. Okay. So once Majima was defeated, Kiryu would begin to walk away. Majima not really taking disrespect from Kiryu of all people, would try to run and grab him. Only for Kiryu to grab him by the face and slam his head into a glass window, and then slam his head down the glass shards until he stopped halfway down. Majima would immediately just tell Kiryu, hey, what the fuck, you can't threaten my life and accept me to just not do anything. Because now he felt like, trying to phrase it a certain way, Majima doesn't want to stay normal right now because Kiryu already threatened him, and Kiryu could have taken something as the Yakuza way. The thing is, Kiryu isn't Yakuza. He flat out says that he isn't Yakuza. So Majima is a bit annoyed, but it still happens. Now, a few months pass, and Kiryu is actually able by the the Cabaret Club, before the Shimano family can even get their hands on it. Majima is placed as the manager, Saejima is the head of security. Then all of a sudden, Kiryu was able to buy all 18 plus businesses, and he gives them to Majima, or quote unquote gives them to Majima. Majima takes around 45% of the money, Kiryu gets the rest of it, and Kiryu was able to make a small security company and give that to Saejima, which made Majima and Saejima essentially the two kings of Sultanburi, as Majima's entertainment and Seijima's, well, aid was able to be very efficient. So yeah. So I keep pausing so much. So Majima and Saejima basically the two kings of Sultanburi, and Kiryu's being able to use a lot of money and connections to hide Majima and Saejima from the Shimano family, as they didn't leave properly. But with help from Kazuma, Kiryu was able to hide him more efficiently. Back in Kamurocho, Kiryu was able to recruit the original 5 billionaires and the same managers / advisors / security teams, and they're pretty efficient. So yeah. So he basically says everyone from the real estate royale initiated with him as his allies. So yeah. Now Kiryu would be able to even expand to keep Majima and Saejima even more well hidden, just because there's so many people around him that Majima and Saejima kind of just fall in line. No one really can tell who they are. At this point, Kiryu is now 18, and he's able to bring on Nishiki, and secretly had the Kazuma family also bring in some cash for him. But they also have to pay him a little bit as well, or he has to pay them a little bit as well. Nishiki is basically the head of the five billionaires. It's not the finance king, it's Nishiki. So he's basically keeping Kamurocho, like he's basically the one in charge of low-level Yakuza, as he's keeping them in line. if they want to exhort someone, they go through Nishiki. Not like the Yakuza boss can even try to interact with Nishiki to initiate it, so to say. Initiate extortion, stuff like that. But what else? Yeah, Kiryu would be in helping the Kazuma family by actually secretly hiding their deeds. To the point where Kazuma is still like a cleanup man for the Yakuza, but no one can ever tell because Kiryu has his team clean up everything before cops can even get near it. No one really knows how the Kazuma clan is so secretive, but they do. It's Kiryu. He cleans up everything before them because everyone relies on Kiryu so much. Kamurocho is his. They went to the point where they even conduct business in Sotenburi, but Shimano doesn't know because Kiryu hides it. Secretly, him and Kazuma own basically everything. So, yeah. People can't even say it's the police because the police don't bother Kiryu if he's around. He owns the building they're in. So, yeah, the point where he's basically a glorified mayor or governor or whatever. So, yeah. Now, Kiryu would just proceed to buy everything he needs until he finds a certain Chinese gang. Now, at some point, Kiryu is now a bit older, and he's watching a fight go down between a Chinese gang and another group. Kiryu would use Seijima's team, once he's done, to stomp the rival gangs into the dirt. Kiryu looks at Seijima and just tells him, grab the man with the slick back hair. And Seijima would do as he's told, wearing a bit of riot gear and a mask, and would throw everyone to the side like they're nothing. Seijima being much stronger than he is in any of the games. Seijima's young, but also he's just much more stronger than he'd ever be. Seijima would grab the man that Kiryu dubs Tachibana. The man is injured, but he gets pretty quick treatment. It's not really too bad. Now, the man's treatment is done pretty quickly. Tachibana never gets sick. He does lose a hand, but there's really never any illness that makes him pass out so frequently. He doesn't really need support or anything. Just like a monthly checkup, and he's fine. So when the checkup makes sure everything's fine, and he'll always be okay. He's safe. Now, Oda would try to run to Kiryu, telling him, wondering who he is. Due to Kiryu having a burning hatred for Oda and everything he put Makoto through and everything that Oda had done resulted in Tachibana's death in some way, Kiryu would just spin around and backfist Oda so hard that everyone audibly heard his skull shatter. Oda hit the ground with most orifices on his face bleeding, and Kiryu would not even be fazed. He just killed a man, and he's not surprised. He just walked away, telling him to clean up all the corpses. Nothing ever happened. And everyone did just that. Then eventually Tachibana woke up in Kamurocho, where he was being treated by more doctors in local Asia. Tachibana would notice where he is and just start speaking Chinese immediately, or I guess Mandarin. Chinese is very broad. Sorry. Well, Tachibana just mentioned, where am I? Where's Oda? The elder spoke first. And he says, a man named Kiryu had brought you here. He left a note. The elder read the note aloud that said, my name is Kazuma Kiryu. I am known as the owner of Kamurocho and the owner of Sotenburi. Or, the owner of Kamurocho and the emperor of Sotenburi. Now, he's basically mentioning he was looking into a lot to find out that it was previously owned by Tachibana's, I believe, uncle. And then it went to Tachibana's sister. So, yeah. Okay. So, he just mentioned that Makoto owns it. He mentioned that he's able to find areas with Murdy working for a massage parlor. And immediately, Tachibana got a worried look. Only for the elder to say, wait, let me finish reading. And he says, don't worry, not the bad kind of parlor. Just a normal one. She told me that she was beaten and sold at some point by a man with a bat tattoo. And when she sharpened his voice, it was Oda. She had been so traumatized, she went blind. It's coming back slowly but surely, but she can only make out figures, not a full-on appearance. And with this, Kiryu basically mentioned that, he had saved her and is hiding her for Tachibana. And he mentioned he left the elder 200,000 yen for a cab and maybe a cheap hotel in Sotenburi. But that is if he says to stay in Sotenburi. And he tells him, stop by their grand and ask for a man named the Lord. Then he'll bring Tachibana to his sister. Tachibana would just immediately try to get up, only fall back down. But the elder would have to have him rest throughout the day before actually leaving to go to Sultan Birdie. Now, Kiryu, well, I'm gonna phrase this. Tachibana was out for probably nearly a week. So, while he was out, he was recovering the entire time, but now he kind of had to relearn to walk to some degree. But yeah. But eventually, hold up. Okay. So, eventually, Tachibana gets to Sultan Birdie and goes to the Grand. He would ask a man saying, "Are you the Lord?" And he says that the Kiryu-sama sent him to find him. But Majima would just laugh, saying, "Sama? That bastard is 19. He'd beat your ass if he heard you call him Sama." But he says, "Yeah, I am the Lord of the Night, or one of the kings of Sultan Birdie. Call me Majima." And he asks if he's the Tachibana bastard. And Tachibana would just nod. Tachibana is actually kind of focusing on the eye patch, because Kiryu had mentioned an eye patch, so he thinks this guy's immediately criminal, which he's not wrong. But Majima would actually ask, like, "Kiryu, the eye patch? Give me a sec." And saying, "Faye, get down here and watch the place while I'm gone." Then a man with a scar on his face and an apron around his waist would run down and just bow, saying, "Yes, Majima-san." And he would remove the the apron, handing it to his wife, who runs upstairs, being cooking, while she's just serving people. The man would then kind of put on a tie and begin managing while Majima and Tachibana leave. Now, Majima explains that he's hiding from the Yakuza, but he'd rely on another Yakuza family to help. So, to this family being lower down the chain, it took a cost, not money, but physical. This family is the Kazuma family. Kashiwagi is the one enforcing the hiding, so he demanded a price, but Kazuma mentioned, "This is going to take a lot more than money. We need to show that you'll keep your promise the entire time, and we'll promise to hide you." So with this, what Majima does, tear out one of his eyes. Majima would then basically just grab Majima's knife, or tell Majima to stab off his pinkies, and Majima would do just that. So Majima lost both his pinkies, and Majima lost one of his eyes. He was going to lose nothing else, but until he showed something serious by just basically ripping out his eye. So, yeah, he ripped it out of his own skull, bare hand and all. No gloves, just hand, pull. That's it. So yeah. But Majima finishes the story as they get to a massage parlor. Tachibana goes inside, and him and Makoto have a heartfelt reunion. Eventually, Wen and Kiryu walk in, Wen being the boss of Makoto at the massage parlor, the man. Tachibana would look at Wen before remembering what Majima said. He initially thought Wen was Kiryu, so he remembered that Majima said Kiryu was 19. And he says, "Someone so young really did save me and my sister. I'm so assumed it was the man next to you." Kiryu would just smile, saying, "No worries. I had been able to buy from most of the triads to hand me information, which is how I learned of a capable warrior such as yourself, and a valuable woman like your sister." Everyone heard valuable woman, and Kiryu immediately face-palmed, saying, "That sounded bad, but you all get it. She had valuable land." Majima would just laugh, saying, in the cabaret club, land's going to be a whole different thing. Only for Kiryu to punch him in the side and tell him, "Go back to work." So yeah. Now more time would pass. And now Kiryu is 20. I'm going to go over Kiryu's entire gang, so to say. Or I guess his company. And their ages. So first we have Majima, who's 24. Seijima, 23, turning 24. Nishiki, who's 20. Tetsu Tachibana, who's 25. Tachibana's first name is Tetsu. Or that's his name in Japanese. Pretty sure in Chinese his name is Lihan. But I'm just gonna refer to him as Tetsu. That's what most people know him as. So Majima 20, Seijima or Majima 24, Seijima turning 23, turning 24, Nishiki 20, Tetsu 25, Makoto 20. Now 2 new people. Egashida 23, Naohashi 19. Egashida is the main Mr. Shakedown of Kamurocho. Kawahashi is the main Mr. Shakedown of Sultan Birdie. Egashida is the one with the fedora and the suit and all that, long brown hair, that kind of stuff. Now, We don't know how old he is, but his actor, I think, was born on April 23rd. So I'm just saying 23rd as like he's 23 years old. And Kawahashi, we don't really have a confirmation on him at all. But putting the story, basically he's recently like not living with his parents, so he has to pay rent and all stuff like that. I'm assuming just because he's a very recent adult, he's 19. So, hold up. Okay, sorry about that. So after Yoshida and Kawahashi, who basically act as Kiryu's gun and goo, we have Wenhai, the boss of the massage parlor that Makoto and him worked at. He doesn't seem too old, but he was old enough to have a daughter who was like 10-ish. So I'm putting him at like 32 years old. So he's 32 in my opinion. Then you have Shigeru, who's the main Yakuza boss in, I believe, Osaka. Yeah, Osaka. So in Osaka, Shigeru, the old man who Kiryu meets in like Yakuza 3. Kiryu has him under his fingers, as well as Kiryu had expanded to Hiroshima and Osaka. So yeah, or Okinawa. Hold up. Yep, Okinawa. My bad. So Okinawa. Then Kiryu also has all the kings: the Leisure King, Pleasure King, Media King, Gambling King, Electronics King, Finance King. He has all of them under his control. Leisure King seems to be holding on to his 20s, so I'm assuming like he tries to be young. So I'm assuming he's like late 20s, early 30s. Pleasure King seems pretty old, like not old, but like older than everyone else. Like I guess older than Leisure King. So I put him at probably about early 30s, or them. Media King, mid 30s. He has an oldish look, but he's still youthful, mid 30s. Then Gambling King, who's like an ex-Yakuza, seems experienced, mid 40s. Electronics King is actually young. He wears a backpack and everything. I'm assuming late teens, early 20s. Finance King, mid 40s. Like he looks the same age as like Gambling King. So yeah, so mid 40s. But then he has Tatsu, as in Miss Tatsu, who I'm assuming is about 26. He doesn't seem much older than Kiryu, but still like some experience, so 26. Fei-Hu, the main leader of like the weapon shop in Sotenburi. He's I'd say early 30s. Komaki, I would say at this point, mid 40s. Maybe late because he knew Fei-Hu's father. Then we have Komoji, who I'd assume is late 40s. Then Areshi, early 20s. Komaki, we all know him. Komoji, he's the one who taught Kiryu rush style. Then Areshi is the one who taught Majima, basically like breaker style, I believe it's called. So yeah, that's all of Kiryu's crew. And so I'm going to go over just everything that's going on, and then this is the end of the video. So, Kiryu expanded to Hiroshima and Okinawa, taking over the smaller Yakuza families, becoming one of the richest men in Japan. Or actually, if not the richest, but he's very, very low-key about it, the way he gets his money. Now, Nishiki and Tetsu lead the 5 billionaires and keep the Yakuza out of the real estate business, but keep Kazuma in. He's pretty easily able to just buy his way around everything. And then we would have Majima and Seijima, who are stationed Sotenburi. But Seijima being the head as the acting head of or Seijima as the acting head of the Kiryu security company is able to expand internationally and become pretty rich himself. But about 60% of his income goes to Kiryu. Then Majima basically owns every cabaret club and host club within the Tojo and Omi territories, so making himself pretty rich as well. Like he owns them, but he still gives money to Kiryu, just not as much as Seijima gives. If anything, they're about 55-45, Kiryu getting the 45, which he doesn't really mind. Kiryu allows Fei-Hu's shop to be exclusively underground and across states and across countries, so it works. So yeah. Okay. Fei-Hu's shop is exclusively underground, but it's international in a few small strip malls that are just actually serving food. But it's owned by different people. Or not owned, but managed. Makoto and Wei still run a massage parlor, but it expands a bit across Sotenburi. Yoshida and Kawahashi. Forgot the H in Kawahashi. Are basically Kiryu's bodyguards. They're basically his gun and goo. By bodyguards, Kiryu does not need a single guard. They're more just here to handle fights that Kiryu may go overboard in, such as if he were to fight one of them, the other would have to step in because Kiryu would wire the other's mouth shut. But he fought them both 2-on-1, and he's won. So yeah. Shigeru has basic control over all Yakuza in Okinawa due to Kiryu's influence. In Makitatsu, she collects rent on lonely tenants and all over all buildings in Kamurocho. So, yeah. Kiryu also has her deal with nosy Yakuza. So, yeah. Komaki is still trained a lot of people, and Kiryu would basically pay for his international travels, and then pay for his flight back across, just to train more. In fact, he trains mainly Kawahashi and Egashira, but they're still the weakest pupils. Or at least they're still, in his words, they're the least potential full they're the least potential out of all the students. Even Tatsu is better than them in his opinion. But yeah. The Kamoji, instead of doing doing the try to hit me challenges, he runs underground fight clubs, and then the final thing of the night is try to have the best fighter try to hit him. And the thing is, they usually can't. Unless it's like Kiryu going in for like a quick buck and he just one-taps Kamoji. So, yeah. Then Urashi just basically runs kind of just dance clubs with his brothers. As I assume those guys are his brothers, they look so much alike, they look like chimps. But, I assume that works. But, after all that, we begin the original story of Yakuza 0. Or at least my version of it now. Before we get into that, I'm ending this part here. Hope you guys enjoyed. Like and subscribe for more. Adios.